So first of all, just talk about the book that this film was adapted from, and just kind of give some people the backstory to it.
Yeah, this comes from a book called Cross, which in Hollywood lingo is origin story. It sort of explains what happened. I won't get into too much because it's too much of a, we'd have to go spoiler alert. But the books are about the intersection of Alex Cross, who has a very tough job tracking down, criminals who are kind of unspeakable, and then his family life. And the cliche about in cop movies, cop goes out, has a tough time, comes home, smokes cigarettes, drinks liquor, falls asleep on the couch. That's not what Alex is. And that's so this movie, Alex Cross, I think is the closest to the books, because you do get the intersection of family life and tough, a very tough job. And partly because Morgan Freeman was older, it was very difficult. You really couldn't have a bunch of little kids running around without an awful lot of explaining. You got a lot of explaining to do, Lucy.
And speaking of Morgan Freeman, and then having Tyler Perry play this role,
Yeah.
and Matthew Fox, I mean, it's such departures for them from what we're used to seeing them play.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's great. And one of the reasons I think this works so well and why it was so smooth is a lot of times people get pigeonholed. Well, he does comedy and he's the good guy, and Rob Cohen, he does those chase movies, and a lot of times these people, they have a lot more. There's a lot more that they can do. So Tyler, when I went to see Tyler in Atlanta, Tyler said, like James, he said, I wouldn't attempt this unless I was positive that I can pull it off, that I can do this. And he has such willpower. I knew he could. And Matthew is such a good actor. You've seen him in Lost. He saw a little bit of darkness occasionally in Lost, but you could tell that he just, he could be a villain. I didn't know he could be quite so villainous as this, but he took it farther than I would have expected. But great. Rob had, just done a lot of action, car chase, and I mean more than car chases, but I mean, so this was a chance for him to show another side as well.
Yeah. So you were impressed with the job everyone did?
Yeah, everybody did good.